Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John, this is Menya Trunut, and welcome back to Hitman Absolution, where I am wearing a lovely, fetching tinfoil hat. At the end of last time, I deliberately got myself arrested so I could infiltrate this prison run by the Sheriff of Hope, who we believe has got Victoria captured at the moment. So that is where we are kicking things off. We are going to have to find our way through this prison.
The good news for you is we got a nice cell away from the bad boys. For now. It's a goddamn Shangri-La compared to where you're going to be spending the next 2 years. Pecker puller.
So here we are in the prison. Now, if you just sneak in, obviously this guy here who's waiting for you isn't waiting for you. You can just sneak through. But as I'm expected, the guy actually is here and he'll take me downstairs. And ultimately, I'll end up in this locked cell. Obviously, if I can just kind of throttle him from behind at any point because they didn't put handcuffs on me and they only sent one guy and he turned his back on me repeatedly. But I guess they think I'm not that dangerous or something. But yes, anyway, you've kind of got all these guys over here. So now you've got to pick this lock and work your way through the prison. Again, everyone's turning their back on you an awful lot, so it's hardly exactly an issue. One thing I've always wondered, I brought a statuette with me because I brought a little, I brought something from the actual courtroom. Now, if I throw that statuette against the wall in my cell, do they actually come and investigate and thereby unlock the room? No, they don't. They're just absolutely flipping obsessed with not looking at me. Well, may as well pick the lock. Good prison, guys. Excellent prison work there. He blatantly saw this door was open. He just doesn't care. I take the situation with the UN extremely seriously. So at this point, you can just go through the prison, basically, and find Victoria. It's not a particularly interesting level, so I'm not sure if I can really be bothered with it, to be honest. Basically, there's a couple of interesting little bits. Like, you'll find cops who are being incredibly mean to someone, for example. That's probably one of the fun little bits of this mission, really. Probably the only fun bit of it, actually. So if I just go into point shooting mode, and I might just finish off these 3 dirty cops here, because there's something fun for doing that. Take out both of those. That should leave me in the clear. And if you do that, this guy will tell you a combination to a safe down the road. I mean, you've got the safe that we just heard about there that I may as well crack open because I can't even flipping remember what's actually in that. So may as well kind of do that while I'm here. It's just a machine gun. Probably the only machine gun going, actually. But that's fine. So, yeah, it's a prison. You have to run through it. You have to find Victoria. There's not a huge amount that's of interest here. So there's the safe room, and then there's one more room, and then that's the end of this whole section. So, it's not exactly a big section. Anyway, let's see what's going on in this next bit, because this next bit's a bit weird.
I remember when I was your age. God, I didn't know.
So we go to a cutscene of Hitman running into another bloody woman in fetish gear. Except, unfortunately, it turns out Sturkey knew I was coming because he electrocuted the water I was standing in. And now I have been captured. So yeah, this is obviously the second time in the game that 47's been captured. Despite that Hitman is, even if you do both of those first bits as total silent assassin, somehow he captures you anyway. Which is very, very weird to my mind. Because, okay, fine, we'll give Sanchez a pass in the end of Terminus, because Hitman had no way of knowing that he had an unstrangleable neck. But this guy? Just some random corrupt sheriff in the middle of nowhere who has a thing for BDSM? Because this game really has a thing for kink for some weird reason. So at this point, Hitman is indeed in jail and can apparently just, free himself. And then you can just activate the fire alarm. And then hide in the chair so everyone thinks you're still nice and tied up. And as soon as that's all done, we can just deal with this guy. Subdue him. And we've got ourselves a disguise and a gun and we've escaped incredibly easily. Sturkey captures me incredibly easily, knows I'm the legendary Hitman, apparently puts me in a room without a guard, on a single normal chair, tied up with bonds that I can literally just pull out of in a single thing. It's just very odd. So yes, we now have to escape the prison again, having kind of, deliberately got our way in here. we failed to find Victoria a flipping again, so now we've got to escape. The escape is much less interesting, to be honest. It's basically just, you know, get from point A to point B, don't get seen, because obviously you're pretty much, every disguise is, you'll need instinct to use properly, so, you know, there's an awful lot of sneaking around and stuff like that. A nice power cord there, that's always welcome. Do like strangling people with a power cord. There we go. And obviously you've got to get your silver ballers back as well, because it wouldn't be a Hitman game if it weren't for them. But yeah, I'm just going to skip over this section. Basically, you escape from the jail, but as you finish escaping from the jail, the agencies show up with massive, massive force. So as you can see here, the plot of what's gone on here is the agency has decided to invade Hope by force with armed men on the streets, actively taking over the town and also just firing wildly into the air and at people. So there is an actual occupation of a town. A town in America has been taken over by... Because obviously the whole using a rocket launcher against a motel by latex nuns was just a bit too subtle, it turned out in the end. So what they've decided to do instead is they've decided to occupy an entire town on American soil with armed soldiers, and nobody's ever going to find out. This is the sort of incredibly subtle action that an assassination agency would obviously be taking part in on a day-to-day basis. They'd take over a whole town. And nobody has a phone, no one has a mobile, no one has any cameras, no one has anything that would let the outside world know. Because there's no implication anywhere in the game that, like, you know, the US government or anyone finds out about this. It just sort of, you know, it's fine. Everyone's okay with it, as it turns out. This is, however, one of the extremely few times in the game this game is actually happy with you doing a little bit of sniping, where you're actually allowed to snipe a little bit. Though, rather oddly, if you're hiding in a position and you hold the thing, you don't seem to, like, rest the sniper rifle on top of it. So you can see, I can only see the top of the deli meat sign there. If you see the top of the deli meat sign, that would suggest that I'm basically still in my crouched position. I would have thought while I was aiming, like, the gun would pop up onto top, so effectively I'd act like I was on top, but never mind, eh? But luckily I can... Oh, I don't even know if that's got collision detection around it. Oh, well, never mind. Let's go for the ones furthest away. Hello. And then just... Dead. It's a very bad idea, by the way, because the moment you get spotted, it's all hostile, and hostile in this game is a terrible idea, particularly on this mission where there's a lot of bad guys. Obviously, as you might expect, really this game is just basically saying, sneak through this section. Probably don't take on the huge number of, you know, completely, massively well-armed individuals. That's probably a bad idea. So what we're ultimately doing, actually, is we're trying to track down Sturkey, who's decided to hide in a church, because it's Hitman, so it's always a bloody church. It's always a bloody church. End of Hitman 2, end of Hitman Blood Money. Now, you might obviously be expecting we're doing an assassination mission, because his picture's up there at the top right, which is what happens in assassination missions, but, kind of no, actually. Instead... After we just kind of run down the hill from the town and make it up to the church, we just get this. Despite the fact there is a car alarm here. Unfortunately, that's just an intrinsic part of all cars. As you can see, there is actually no one on the map apart from our target who's facing the other way at the other side of the church. If you go around the church, there's nothing you can do to any of it. You can't hop that fence. The church is also full of people, even though we just used our instinct and knew that there were no people in it.
Sheriff, do something!
Are you okay, my son?
Fucking move! You're a coward, Sheriff Skirky! I'm gonna shoot this son of a bitch!
People down!
You know what? I don't like either of them. Yeah, we'll take the priest out too. Never let a good hostage go to waste. So yeah, we just got a little kind of cutscene. Except this one, I'm almost certain there's nowhere around. I'm told, Wade, in the basement, there is actually a way around him that you can sneak around the other way. But Sturkey, doesn't happen. This is the only way you can do it.
Ah, Blackwater Park! Blackwater Park!
So, once again, we are told that Victoria is in Blackwater Park. You notice about half this game is just me trying to find out where Victoria is. I went to the factory because I was told by Lenny that Victoria would be there. Then, after going through huge amounts of the factory, I was told actually she's at Sturkey's office. And I go through huge amounts of Sturkey and Hope, and she's not there either. So now I'm going on to Blackwater Park to find her again, having learnt she might be there. So... yeah, it's You spend about half the game just trying to find someone and continually missing her, which isn't exactly that heroic. There are two halves to Blackwater Park, the hotel and the penthouse. I decided I couldn't be bothered to deal with the main hotel because I don't think it's particularly interesting or good level. Instead, I went straight on to the penthouse itself. So basically, why we're on top of an elevator, by the way, is because we got the elevator up, but they did the whole, aha, the elevator's coming up, we'll just shoot the doors as soon as it arrives. And turns out I wasn't actually even in the elevator, because I was hiding on top of it at the time. Now, up onto the ledge here, another elevator whizzed past us, so now we just sneak in the side way. So as a result, the penthouse only has one entrance here, and it's the entrance that brings us out into here. So this is it. This is the penthouse of Blake Dexter himself at Blackwater Park. It's a very big, very pretty level with lots of interesting things in it, which is always welcome.
Mr. Dexter doesn't want anyone in here, man.
How can we secure all rooms if we...
This room is off limits.
Let's just quickly finish off these two guys. So you and you are both going to go down. I was mainly just curious because I don't remember. Like, I've only played this game through once. I literally only played it once. So I'm kind of interested into why this particular room is supposedly off limits. Got ourselves a sniper rifle here, and as this game really permits relatively little sniping, I will take any flipping chance I've got to do some sniping. Oh yeah, this looks like an excellent little way to start then. Done. Layla dealt with. So she can just be sniped off while she's outside. I imagine someone would object to that, but never mind. Let's just get rid of that sniper rifle there. One of her bodyguards saw her. So that's not the perfect solution. That's far from the perfect solution, but it's certainly a decent-ish way. While I'm here, I should also flag that in that room right next door, you've got Blake Dexter's armory, full of little kind of weapons and so forth. A battle axe, a sword, what's this one here? A mace. So you've got all sorts of little fun weapons dotted around here if you feel like doing things that way. Be aware some of these things do move, so you've got to be a little bit careful. As long as you're on the ground, you've only really got to worry about the ones that are on the move, so you can kind of fit through them pretty easily. It's not too dangerous. And in the middle, you've also got some proximity mines, which arguably actually have some flipping use, aside from just being super badass. So, you know, God, proximity mines. Proximity mines are actually quite fun in this game. Using the key card I picked up upstairs, unlock the door through here, walk on straight through. Lovely. Lets me skip a fair whack of trouble. And here at this room at the end, as instinct can reveal to you, there is a panic room. And with that, I can tell Blake the excellent news.
Layla, get your ass up here. We're leaving. You, move. Inside the chopper. I'm gonna take you apart atom by atom and breed you like a prize bull. Oh, don't look so shocked, girl. After all, they grew you in a test tube. My lab should feel
Right at home. Oh, don't tell me you didn't know.
Ah yes, and now we get the rather weird revelation about Victoria, who we know of course was trained as an assassin, but for the first time we get to see it. Here she goes, murdering, what is that, 6, 7, maybe 8? Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be number 10 right there. She kills 10 highly trained bodyguards. Kill Blake. Kill Blake Dexter.
Date the girl and get her in the chopper.
Just kill. Why didn't she just kill Blake Dexter right there and then? Like the cutscene there when she killed 10 people, then Blake Dexter said, "Oh, she was worth the trouble," and then someone grabbed her from behind. But within that cutscene, someone else grabbed her from behind, and she got a gun out of his pocket and killed him with it. Why doesn't she just do that with the guy who just grabbed her? So back here again, but this time I'm going to go for one of my kind of personally most fun ways, I think. I mean, the real point about this mission is, like, there's a huge amount of instances of, like, display cases. He displays so many weapons and stuff that using those weapons is really kind of what the game's kind of encouraging you to be doing here. Let me sneak around this guy. Yes, just lovely. So, let's see how far we can get around here, because I'm pretty sure this area is a lot more quiet than the others. Yep, perfect. So, sneak around here. You can get yourself the key card that you'll need to bypass some of the doors nice and easy. Very, very quickly indeed. Alright, I just need to grab something so I can distract these guys with it. Luckily, there are plenty of weapons floating around here. And the weapons in this area, though they look like weapons and can be used as interim melee weapons, luckily they also are distraction items, which is convenient. And we'll just toss it over there. That'll get their attention.
Hello?
Yes, I'm sure it was a samurai. Blame the samurai. It was probably the samurai's fault. So we're here in this big old museum here at the top now. Would you believe there's some sort of crank here and a massive great skeleton above it? Beautiful. Luckily, while you're up here on the balconies in this room, you're pretty much safe. Basically, no one comes up here, I think. So it's a nice place to chill out. I think Layla may have gone into her panic room, unfortunately. So we've missed the chance to drop a whale on her, but that's fine. I think instead we will just drop this on some people anyway. Well, while I'm here then, and the whale execution hasn't worked particularly well, let's get ourselves a different disguise. This lovely samurai armor is indeed a disguise, and any of the stands in this level can act as one of the places that you can hide in, which is very, very cool indeed to my mind. Layla? Yes, we do. We get the special one, which is partly obscured by the helmet.
You're a hard man to kill. I love a hard man.
How do you feel about samurai?
Where's Victoria?
Oh, Vicky. Let's not talk about her. Let's talk about us.
Come on, as Assassin tried this in Blood Money in the Christmas level, it didn't work then either.
Better yet, let's not talk at all. When was the last time you relaxed? Huh? Let Layla take you to heaven.
Would you believe I think she's got a gun and she needs to be shot a few times. Now, mysteriously, when you do that, even though, as you saw, I was under suspicion and there were guys behind me before I did that, now there's not. Now I'm just trapped in here. So if you can actually just wait for her to be in this room, you can basically just run in and just, shoot her like that. And any trouble that was behind you is now gone. So that's kind of interesting. Now, one last one that I have a personal fondness for. Let's just wait for a good minute. I think this is a fair enough time to just nip this way. Yep, lovely. Those guys go in that direction. Layla is right there straight away. Now, I find Layla interesting as a character because, like, they do repeatedly, like, imply there's something special about her. That, like, she's more than meets the eye. But, like, it's never actually revealed if there is anything. It does genuinely seem that she's just Blake Dexter's, you know, gold digger girlfriend. It's very, very strange. Wait for those two guys for a minute and they will leave that room completely unattended, which is lovely. Yep, they'll just wander off and then we can access the weapons room that we saw earlier. Close the door behind us there, and of course do not forget that you do not want to be triggering any alarms in here. Instead, just go around the outside, ignore all the weapons, though there are some lovely weapons in here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Completely ignored my own advice there. Right, well that's fine. That's okay. As long as I get out in a hurry, I don't think it should cause a problem. So let's just get this poison here. And hope that nobody minds about the whole small alert that I may have just triggered. Let's just hide here.
Vault clear! What are the alarms for if they go off for no reason?
No technology beats a guard in person.
Amen.
Looks like they have decided they're okay after all. So now we've got ourselves a poison. Why is that good? Well, if we head back downstairs to where we started, then you may notice over there's a little tray of food. Now, there was a bit of a joke about this earlier, that the guy who was bringing some sushi up to the apartment got wasted in the elevator. That wasn't entirely a joke, however. That was actually also a little hint that there is some sushi sitting out on a plate there, which, if we can just get this poison onto it, could work very nicely indeed. We've got ourselves a candidate walking in right this direction. This seems reasonable. Yep, he seems like an excellent candidate to be garroted for a uniform. We'll garrote him and get him straight into this box over here. Nice and silent. I hope this will work. Oh, Layla's coming this way, though. Layla is coming this way. Okay, so I think we're just going to just miss a chance to do that. So there you can see she's decided she's going to have a nibble of that there food. And that is part of her behaviour loop. She'll now wander off and take those 3 guys with her in a moment. So that guy over there is going to be the one guy who stops me. I'm going to use this remote explosive I've got to just temporarily distract him. I'm not actually going to detonate it. I'm just gonna, you know, use it to distract him for a moment.
We got a poltergeist or someone's throwing things at me.
Okay. Poison the sushi. Walk away from the sushi. Lovely. Here we go. I think we're getting close to the place now. Layla is going to take a little nibble of that there food. And Layla has unfortunately not responded well to the hallucinogenic drug. How are you feeling, Layla? Not great? Oh dear. She is. I think we just caught the hitting the ground there. Lovely. So that was officially the signature kill of the level as well, which is always nice. Yeah, she didn't respond particularly well to the whole being drugged thing. So yes, it wasn't actually a poison, it was more hallucinogenic. So bodyguards will just stand there, but I suspect they won't. Actually, you know what? They're part of a separate class, technically. These guys are not actually part of the same group, so therefore they don't mind me being in this disguise, so I don't need to bother using instinct. So that's nice. So yeah, those are kind of my 3 favourite ways to deal with her. Sorry we weren't quite fast enough to catch her with the whale. But yes, those are some very fun ways. Anyway, after that's all done, we head up to the roof, and it's time to deal with Blake Dexter himself. And up we go onto the roof of Blackwater Park. And that bloody mysterious fog from the top of the Terminus Hotel is indeed back. Some people are going to tell me, oh no, that's just smoke. That's smoke from the fire in Terminus, which was an odd thing to say, because obviously guards were walking through it and shouting to each other, and there was no sign of any, you know, they were having trouble breathing, so I think it was supposed to be fog, and the mysterious fog is back again. Fog so thick, it's not quite as effective as the crops in the Attack of the Saints mission, but it's not too far off. It's baffling that this mysterious massive pea super has just rolled in. But anyway, let's use it to our advantage. As we, yeah, look at this bloody thing. Look at this madness. What the hell is going on here? This is impossibly thick fog. Nice thing up there that we can deal with.
Man, thought I heard something.
Alright, a small industrial accident that killed that guy. And would you believe also draws that guy attention away, letting us up to the next section. Beautiful. Proximity mines, one false step and we all blow up. But that's fine, because instinct is a good thing. Hooray for instinct. Whoever laid this... Evil John could have done a better job with this bloody minefield. Let's head up the steps. And we got ourselves another minefield, arguably a worse one in fact. So we've got huge numbers of mines here, but luckily we've got a solution stand as the game's pointing out. Which is, if we just do this... That'll take out a few mines right there. Lovely. So that'll get us through one set of mines. Through here. Got another environmental hazard. Interestingly, no one responds to the massive mine explosion that's there. Let's just hide here while that happens again. Reload again. In fact, actually, you can just ledge it up, which is fine. Ledge. Up. And then in a moment, point shooting. Bye-bye, Dexter. There you go, that should be enough. Done. We can just go over to little old Victoria.
I'm sorry. You're safe now. It's okay.
My boy, forgive me, Lenny. My money.
Your money?
Come on.
I feel like 47 should look more uncomfortable in the background. Like, actually, I was planning to take that money in the fact that no one's actually paying me for this job. I was hoping to... No, never mind. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's not like I'm a mercenary individual by nature. Not in this game, anyway.
Dear 47, if you read this letter, I am most likely dead. You will have shot me for a traitor, and Travis will have won. Do not let him have the girl as well. Travis's division was conducting genetic experiments without the agency's knowledge, and Victoria was their crowning achievement. Give her the choice you never had. Protect Victoria and kill Benjamin Travis.
The true final mission of the game, Absolution. Now, the first bit of this mission is really kind of a bit boring and uninteresting, so I'm going to skip just slightly further in. So, this is the first bit where we actually have to kill someone. Literally the first bit of the mission is just sneaking into this bit. There's nothing actually to do, really. So, 47, you're growing some man for your bat. It's a bit worrying, man. So, this is the Burnwood family tomb. The idea basically being that Travis is obsessed with the idea that Diana might not be dead. So, he's going to dig up the corpse just to make sure it's actually her. So, we're going to be taking out one person here. One person per section remaining of the game. Here we're taking out Jade, the woman who you might have seen in a couple of cutscenes who just sort of speaks to Travis. She doesn't really do much, to be honest. She's not a particularly interesting character, and doesn't seem particularly culpable for anything that happens in this game, but that's fine. Sneak around the outside here. You'll notice we've got a few people here. We can get ourselves a dog's bone as a distraction item, always useful. And over there, you'll notice that there is a whole load of people, a whole lot of white dots. So that's a huge amount of security, scientists, all of that business. And the woman in question, Jade. All of those people floating over in that direction. What I'm going to do, however, is completely ignore that. I'm going to completely ignore all of that stuff over there, where Jade is, and I'm just going to wait over here in this almost deserted section. So we've got one guy we might want to take care of here. So, that's one of those guys taken care of. Then, we've got this chappie over here. So just a couple of people that need to be taken care of around here. All of them can be subdued. We can hide all the bodies, so there's no penalty for it. So we'll hide him. Yeah, there's another one right here. There's another one right here. How convenient that is. I think we've just found Jade over there. There she is indeed, having a chat to someone, highlighted in red now. Oh, we can just leave her alone for the minute. There's no need to rush into taking care of her. It looked like there were quite a few security guards in that area. We don't want to be making trouble with any of them. Instead, with this nice area kind of just cleared out, let's just wait here. Let's just wait right here and not have to worry about anything. And would you believe, here she comes. She's decided to just wander into this incredibly quiet, secluded area all by herself. Into this nice, quiet area. And garroted. Garroted. And there's lots of lovely space for her in this little, I don't know, thing. This is a religious thing. It's a thing full of candles, but we put people wearing clothes in them and they don't catch fire, because religion. Oh, she was super into that dude as well. That's what. Okay, it's fine. It's a fairly. It's a bit of a puerile bit of humour, but I do quite like the way that Hitman Absolution does the corpses. When you put two corpses into a cupboard, that they always end up in that position. It amuses my more simple needs. Right, and that done. That's done. And that's Silent Assassin. So, and incidentally, that place which is the perfect place to ambush her is right by the exit, which is here. So. That's an incredibly easy way to get Silent Assassin on that mission. I mean, there's a few other ways, but none of them are that interesting, really. They're just hard for hard's sake. None of them are better than that. None of them are like, there's no, like, super badass way.
Travis to Praetorians. We are on high alert. Close ranks and shoot anyone who approaches. If you really are the best, this is the time to prove it.
And as you can see there, Travis has one final line of defense, his Praetorians. These are effectively the final boss of the game, if you like, because these are going to be the last enemies we fight. They're supposed to be the elite of the elite, the super tough, badass, awesome people who are Travis's own personal bodyguard, you know, and we have to take them out. So, I don't really know what, like, I ought to expect, but I kind of would expect something a little bit more interesting than what we actually get. We don't get anything desperately interesting out of this fight. So, okay, so here I am in my lovely badass Agent C mega armor. Just, you know, probably the guy who's wearing this armor has just returned from having personally conquered Colombia or something, because that's what the agency does these days. So he's here. Now, let's just make a bit of noise around here. That'll get his attention. And garroted. And just very quickly shove him in here. Dump him. No, dump. Faster. Yeah, there we go. So that is one nice simple kill. And around the side we go. Lovely. So that's the first one of them down. Like, all the normal, fairly basic tactics that you've used so far work just fine on this guy. You don't kind of need anything particularly advanced to take him out, to be honest. So it's a bit disappointing. I find it a little bit disappointing that that's the case. But anyway, obviously you've got the guy in the middle, but the easiest way to take these guys out is one at a time from the edges. So that guy's now dead, and mysteriously they don't kind of seem to notice or mind or come looking for him. Even though these are, you know, the creme de la creme, hyper elite, Travis's own personal bodyguard, you'd think maybe that they'd be kind of aware of how 47 operated. And if they were like thinking, you know what, we've got to defend ourselves against 47, you'd think maybe they'd be like, you know, if one of them mysteriously goes missing, they'd go and check. But they don't. They, though they do actually have overlapping search patterns, i.e., you know, the one on the left crosses paths with the one in the middle on a regular basis. If the one on the left goes missing, they don't actually suspect anything's wrong. They just think, oh, he must have nipped out to buy a Galaxy bar and a Coke quickly. Damn that bastard! If he'd have asked, I'd have liked him to have got me a Coke as well. Ooh, I'm up here, but I think this guy might be at least partially aware of what's going on. Oh, no, he's normal. He's normal. They're fairly aware, so you probably should walk rather than ever running. Because they do seem pretty darn aware of what's going on in the world. And as you can see there, the two of them are crossing paths. So they do actually, the paths kind of cross over. Which is quite good. Because it means, obviously, that they're much harder to deal with. That'll get his attention, though. And the other one's right there, actually. So I'm not sure if I necessarily want to go for a strangle. Oh, no, I do. No, he's walking away. Well, that's fine. Oh, never mind. All right, screw it. We're taking out the Praetorians in a non-subtle way. Right, the Scootum's dead. Hated that guy. I probably should get a gun out at this point. That's fine. I've got a sniper rifle. Oh, it's a twitchy sniper rifle. I can't be bothered with it. We'll just use this gun. There we are. We'll just use that gun. Gun. There we are. That was way better. That sniper rifle is bloody twitchy. You know, I'll just take a subtle shot and then it's like, oh, right. This is quite gentle touch to the analog stick there. That's a flipping twitchy sniper rifle. Never used a sniper rifle at point blank range. So yeah, that was the final boss. Yeah, they can be distracted, same as any other enemy. They can be distracted, same as their enemy. They can be fought, same as their enemy. Headshot will kill them. They can be garroted in one shot. You'd really think they'd be wearing anti-garrote collars or something. Like, if you went for the garrote, they'd, like, you know, stick their thumbs up, pull the wire out, and something like that. You know, something would be different. You know, it would, I don't know. I just feel like they shouldn't be able to be one-shot killed. There should actually need to be an interesting firefight. Although, maybe not. Like, it's also weird there's only 3 of them, because Hitman 2 Silent Assassin ended with a big showdown in a church as well, and that had you versus like 20 guys with sniper cover and all sorts of things, and then Hitman Blood Money ended in a big showdown in a church, and then that was you with no upgrades and, you know, no disguises and no anything, and you had to take on, how many guys were in the final level of Hitman Blood Money? I think it was like, must have been a good 10, counting the wheelchair guy too, and the fact that there were 2 people downstairs. Put some explosives on the door. Could just knock or open the door, 47, but alright, fine, whatever. Let's go double silver ball for maximum badass. Badasses don't look at explosions, by the way. And here's the ending of the game. Travis was probably standing right behind the door or something. If he'd just been standing back from the door, he'd be fine right now.
You never did get it, did you big ball fuck? She was made to be a killer, just like you. It was gonna be perfect. Just tell me, did you kill her? Diana. You will never know.
Diana, do what you have to do.
And there we have Victoria and Diana. Diana was in fact fine. Somehow. And yes, Victoria taking the choice whether or not to throw away the thing that makes her superpowered. But obviously, as we established back with Sturkey, it doesn't just make her superpowered, it also stops her getting incredibly sick. Like at the orphanage, she was at the point of dying because it was taken away from her. Yet mysteriously in this case, we're acting like a legitimate option would be throw it away. Like she'd be dead. She'd be dead within a week if she threw that thing away. So I don't know. It's a very odd thing. I mean, I like the symbolism of it. The idea of, do I throw away the chance to be a superpowered killer? I mean, maybe it's supposed to be about sacrifice. I just think it's a very unusual ending anyway. And we cut back to the police chief. This is the guy who was battering down the door in the Terminus Hotel, by the way. This is that guy. He keeps showing up for no well-explained reason.
Who are you?
Like we care about his plot.
You really want to know? Because I can help you find them. For a price, of course.
And the final twist, Birdie trying to set up the sequel Hitman Absolution 2. But Hitman Absolution 2 will never happen, because even IO Interactive have admitted that Hitman Absolution made some very big mistakes. So I imagine we will never see Birdie again, and indeed, the new Hitman game will probably just pretend Hitman Absolution never happened, because Hitman Absolution, I think, is going to be set after the new Hitman game. The new Hitman game, they've said it's going to be like at the height of Hitman's career, and Hitman Absolution takes place chronologically at the end, because the death and resurrection of Diana was never mentioned in the previous game. So Hitman Absolution won't have happened yet. Don't worry, we don't need to worry about Birdie. He wasn't a particularly good character anyway. So yes, there we go. Everyone's dead. Layla's dead and didn't have any form of power or interesting personality. Dexter's dead. Lenny's dead. That one was a bit sadder. Sanchez died. We killed him in front of a whole room full of people who saw our face, but that's okay. Apparently that police chief at the end there was like, who is this person? Why can no one describe him? Why is he just a black circle with a question mark in it? Like, just ask at the fight night. Like, hundreds of people saw my face. It was fine. But there we are. That's Hitman Absolution. So, I did this whole experiment because I wanted to try and figure out, would I come to a more positive opinion of Hitman Absolution having replayed it? And yes, I have. There are individual mechanics that I think are actually genuinely pretty good. The cover system probably does add something positive to the series, though I don't think it should be as overused quite as much as it is in Absolution. The faster movement speed when you're crawling, the quick garrote that goes straight into dragging, that's all nice. However, there's some of it that's too nice and that makes life too easy. Instinct made life too easy. Point shooting made life too easy. There's a lot of stuff that I think needed to come out there. And while I really like the idea of, you know, having a finite ability to walk in front of people who are wearing the same disguise as you, because they'd recognise who is in their team versus not, I just felt like it discouraged you from exploring and playing with the environment, and that's what Hitman should really be all about. That's what's the joy of Blood Money, just kind of exploring and poking and seeing what was allowed where and who could interact with who and so forth. It was more fun if you just assumed that 47, as an intrinsic ability of his character, was able to blend into any environment. So I'm glad that Instinct, we know for a fact, Instinct is not gone from Hitman, the new one, but it is just going to be used for highlighting. It's just going to be used for highlighting items. It's no longer going to be used for the blending in. Hitman will be able to act like he did in Hitman Blood Money. You'll be able to put in a disguise, and if you're allowed in that area, you're allowed in that area, which I think is much, much better. But the fast movement, the garrote into the drag, all of that stuff from Absolution, the good stuff, the movement mechanics, how 47 navigated the world physically, that's all coming back. However, the level design, that was the problem with Absolution. Absolution could have been a great game if they just put it in big open sandbox levels that were more interesting. If like all of the levels were like, you know, the Blackwater Park penthouse or the gun shop or the courthouse or something, this would have been a great game. Maybe not quite as good as Blood Money, but it would have been up there. So I feel like as basically they've taken the good bit of Absolution and they've blended it with the best bit of Blood Money, Absolution's mechanics with Blood Money's levels, we're looking at a pretty damn good Hitman game. Not, sadly, coming out in December anymore. Well, I said sadly. Like, flipping hell, it was going up against Just Cause 3, Fallout 4, the new Xenoblade, if you're into that sort of thing. So many games were launching in that, like, 2 to 4 week period. You didn't need the new Hitman game there. I'm sort of glad they've delayed that to March 2016. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of Hitman Absolution. A very whistle-stop tour, taking quite a few missions per part, just because I wanted to. I just wanted to kind of play with it a bit and see how it all works. And I have come to a more positive opinion of Absolution. I used to say I hated Absolution, and I don't hate Absolution anymore. I think it is very flawed. I think it's definitely not the best game in the Hitman franchise. Is it the worst? Excluding the first one, Hitman Codename 47, because all of that was remade in contract. I'm really not trying to think, is Hitman Absolution better than Hitman 2 Silent Assassin? Hitman 2 Silent Assassin had superior levels when it was doing really good levels. Like, Hitman Absolution doesn't have a single level as good as Invitation to a Party, or what was the name of the first mission? The one in the Don's house, I can't remember now. I don't think it's got levels as good as Shogun Showdown. That's a really fantastic level. Or, say, the Massive Hospital, that's one of the final levels in Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. That's a fantastic level. I'd still say I'd probably prefer Hitman 2 Silent Assassin to Absolution, purely on the ground the levels are better. But Absolution certainly has a lot of things going for it. And, in general, you know what? This is indeed Absolution for Hitman. I forgive you, Hitman Absolution. I forgive you for the mistakes you made. You are a worthy, acceptable part of the franchise, and I will no longer get angry when I think about you. And in the end, that was really all I wanted to do. I just wanted to come up with a fair appraisal of Hitman Absolution, and I hope I have. So that's the end of Hitman Absolution. Something else coming next Monday. I haven't decided what's coming next Monday yet. In all fairness, we've got so many game launches coming over the kind of coming few weeks and months. I might not do a regular series on Monday. I might leave that space for mini-series when new games come out. I want to do a little mini-series for them. I think that's how I'm going to play it. But I'm sure we will return to the Hitman franchise very, very soon. If nothing else, when the new Hitman game comes out, I'll definitely be in that. Otherwise, maybe I'll do Hitman 2 or Hitman Contracts on the channel at some point or other. I'm not sure. But yes, in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John. It's been many a true nerd, and this has been the end of Hitman Absolution. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Down, 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 get off it. Just hop off. Oh, no, that was wrong! I would untie and save you, you understand, but there is a hovercraft. I really hope the bear's not still around. The bear is still around! The bear's still around! The bear's still around! Good news, guys! Elephant's here! Hey!